Hello and welcome to the first episode of Gully to Gully. If you know, you know. And of course, we're going to start off our first episode with a bang, discussing the biggest contest in international cricket or any form of cricket. Pakistan versus India, the Asia Cup. Um, I think given the result that happened a couple of days ago, Pakistan thrashing Nepal, as dead rubber a match as can be, I've got Moin here with me. Um, Although India Pakistan is never a dead rubber, but what do you think, Moin?
You say that actually, unfortunately, over the past, 4 to 5 years, India-Pakistan matches in ODI cricket have been dead rubbers, unfortunately. 2019 World Cup, 2018 Asia Cup, so I think this is probably the first time in a long time that I think they're evenly matched teams. So yeah, so should be a good game. It's just
But I meant more in terms of the format of the tournament, that even if like whoever wins or loses, it doesn't really matter because they eventually face each other in the second round,
oh yeah, of course,
unless
yeah,
unless India lose to Nepal, which
yeah. I mean, apparently Nepal did quite well. I think, and even against us, I thought they had struck up a good partnership. They were never going to win, but I thought they had a bit of potential, and then it just whizzed out. But no,
yeah,
no,
I mean,
it's the classic format to ensure India play Pakistan 3 times,
yeah.
and in 40 years, there's never been an India final. So
Yeah. I mean, there's been countless analysis and whatnot done on this fixture. So I think we probably do it a bit different. We're not going to dwell into all the details of playing 11s and this and that and all that. It's for Pakistan, I think it's pretty straightforward. I think it'll be unchanged. In
um, it's not my preferred 11, as
Yeah,
many people know. I mean, I definitely would have Saud play at number 4 instead of Salman Aga. I think you need a lefty in the middle to
yeah,
counter the spin. Salman Aga, I know he had one good innings against Afghanistan, but he just looked all at sea against spin. And I just think you need that one extra good batter, proper accomplished batter. And I think so
yeah.
Shakil.
But speaking of number fours, I think India have more of a dilemma, to be honest. I think Shreyas Iyer is now fit, so he will automatically come back in. KL Rahul is injured or unavailable for at least this game. So I think that's the real question for them. Who plays at five?
Yeah, and even the 4 debate. I mean, you had lots of people say Kohli should bat at 4.
No
I
way.
think if you're going to have the argument for Kohli to bat at 4 to break up the top three, if you think your middle order is thin, then Pakistan need to have Babar Azam 4-5.
4-5, yeah.
It doesn't
It's like
work
the
like that.
Pakistan of the 90s, all
Exactly.
the middle
10 to
orders
3
and all the
arm
man.
in, right, to save the day. Right. I mean, we've seen how that doesn't work, right?
Yeah.
You need your best player at 3. Ricky Ponting was at 3. Sachin used to open the batting. I think it's a no-brainer. Kohli should stay at 3.
Yeah, of course.
I think with 4, personally, I think Rahul is the most overrated player in the Indian cricket. I, you know, I yeah, I just it's just IPL success. It's not the same as international success. But number 5 is interesting because you could have Pandya at 5,
Yeah.
and then you have Kishan at 6 and Sky at 7. That's an
No,
option.
you'll have Jadeja at 7 anyway. That's a pretty much
Oh
shoe in,
yes,
right?
you have Jadeja at 7. Oh, actually, yes, you're right. So you then have to choose 2 out of the 3. So you have Pandya, who is
Yeah.
automatic, and then you
Yeah.
have a choice between Kishan or Sky. I think Kishan will
Yeah.
get nod ahead of Sky.
Yeah, Kishan gives you a lefty option somewhere because the top three are all right-handed. Yeah, I think the other interesting thing for them is what they do with their bowling tail because they have Kuldeep Yadav and three fast bowlers, but then they have a very long tail,
Very long
which
tail.
has been which Pakistan have shown that there is this thing in cricket where if number 6 and 7 can't do it or number 7, 8 can't do it, then you can't expect 9, 10, 11 to do it. But then again, against Afghanistan, Pakistan have shown that 9, 10, 11 can get you over the
Yes, it's those classic
line.
things in
So
cricket. Like I mean, it's a nice sounding phrase, but it's not actually true, right? It,
yeah,
it gives the batters at the top a bit more license because they know that there's a cushion below, and I think that's
yeah,
something India will miss, which
yeah,
is why guy unfortunately doesn't fit in because he's a risk at number 7.
Yeah, I think they'll probably have to play someone like Shardul Thakur, who's a half decent batsman at 8, and then probably we'll go with Kuldeep and then Bumrah and Siraj, probably. Which, anyways, let's quickly move on to what we think the key matchups are going to be, rather than focusing on any other permutations. There's only one place to start.
We all know
Full
Shaheen again.
in-swing Yorker.
I have to say, and is that look, it's an amazing battle. I think Shaheen has his great first over success, but I think he's let it get to his head a little.
Yeah.
I think now because he's got this first over wicket so many times, he's searching for the magic ball every ball of that first over, right? Every ball is like that. And very easy turns into a full toss. He's been a bit lucky against lower quality oppositions, but
Yeah.
against a Sharma, if you bowl a full toss on the pads, he's just gonna smack you for 4. So I think someone needs to just sit Shaheen down and just explain to him that, like, you build a wicket, like look at Wasim Akram and you build it. Yeah. Everyone talks about the Rohit Sharma dismissal in the 21 World Cup, but I actually look at the Rahul dismissal.
Yeah.
That was just a length delivery, landed at just the right place, and it just moved off the surface, right? You have to bring the pitch into play. Or Aaron Finch, even for that matter. So yeah, it's just he just needs to just calm himself down. He's the leader of the attack.
I think the other matchup which is interesting is Hardik Pandya against the Pakistan spinners, because he's got this reputation, and he kind of did that in the T20 2022 World Cup, where he was the one who kind of smashed Nawaz out of the attack, although he struggled the rest of that innings, but he hit him for like 2-3 sixes, which kind of changed the momentum. And obviously, by that logic, how Nawaz kind of gets over his mental barrier against India. He's had to struggle twice with the ball. With the bat, he's been okay. With the ball, he's technically lost 2 games. So if he can get over that, but I think Pandya
one game. I think the first one we had already lost. He had to defend 4 of the last 6. Yeah. I'm more into Pandya against Shadab, because I think Shadab is a much improved bowler now than he was in 2017 when he got taken to the cliff, right? So it'll be interesting to see how Pandya goes against Shadab. But this is where Babar's thing is quite his role is important here, because you'll notice field placings are really important. So what Morgan used to do was he used to have everyone behind the batter inside the circle, and it's just really odd field. And then mid wicket back, mid on back, mid off back. And they're just it's a high risk strategy, but it's one that that used to great success. Pandya couldn't get him away in that World Cup match that we needed India to win.
Yeah, I think the bigger boundary Sri Lanka, when Pandya gets going, no boundary is big enough.
Then I think the other matchup, if we just maybe switch it around, right? I mean, we talk a lot about bowlers against their batters, but if you just switch it around, I think an interesting one is Fakhar Zaman against Bumrah. I don't know where you start with Fakhar Zaman. There are times when you think he should make it into Pakistan's all-time ODI 11 opening with Anwar, but that's more a function of us not having another proper ODI opener other than Solo. And then he can look so ordinary.
I think it's I don't know, it's not even a confidence thing with him, because when he gets going, he is unstoppable. I genuinely think he is not as good as we think he is. I think he's got a bit of Shahid Afridi about him, where that one inning has lasted him his career. Obviously, he's got that kind of flashy streak to him, so he looks good where if he gets going, he's aggressive and all that, but he's got technical flaws. I mean, I'm not an expert or anything, but he gets going when you don't expect it. So,
and then he gets going, and then he can't get out, and he scores a double century.
I think unless Bumrah bowls the no ball, I think he will not last very long against him. But let's see.
But he's the only batter, and this is an interesting stat I came across. The only batter in the Pakistan team who averages less in Pakistan and Asia than and I think that's because he struggles on slower wickets. He struggles against spin and he struggles on slow wickets, and I think he's being found.
So which could be interesting if it happens. And I think India should do this if when Fakhar Zaman gets out early and Babar Azam comes in the second over. I think it's worth gambling with Jadeja or Kuldeep with the new ball in the fourth or fifth over. Because as Mujib has proven, Babar is not the most fluent against spin early on in his innings. When he plonks that front foot forward and is prime candidate for LBW. So I think, and someone like Jadeja who slides it on, I think it could be an interesting one.
Yeah.
I hope no one's watching this. But
And it's not just spin. I think it's left arm spin in particular against Sri Lanka. And now India have two left arm spinners now. You've got Jadeja, which is the more orthodox, and then you've got the Chinaman. And actually, people forget that I think Kuldeep was the one who got Babar out in 2019. With the
but that was a magic ball. But that was a magic ball, right? You can't really plan for those, to be honest.
Yeah, no, but I agree. If I were Rohit, I would just take a bigger gamble and bowl Kuldeep, even though perhaps may offer a little more control. Just because Babar would not have faced left arm Chinaman for a long time, and he struggles against left arm spin. Why not? And if it fails, you can always fall back to Jadeja. But I think that's a key matchup. The issue is you have to do it early. Once Babar gets 30 or 25, 30, then he will have to give it away. I think while it's not exactly a matchup, but I think Naseem Shah is one to watch here because I don't think I think Naseem's a fabulous bowler, but I don't think he's performed to expectation or he's lived up to his potential. Right? I mean, he always has 1 or 2 wickets. Like he bowled amazingly for 1 or 2 wickets, and he's someone who should have more wickets under his belt. It's not that he's doing anything wrong. It's just he just has the potential to do more, I think, and I'd be keen to see how he does against Kohli.
I think he's a bit defensive in his opening, but maybe it's because of Shaheen, being ultra aggressive. I think he kind of restrains himself. Maybe it's a case of it's 10 overs, not 4 overs. So he's bowling a bit within himself and he's focusing more on line and length outside off stump. I don't know what it is, but he's not that kind of tear away Naseem that you see in T20s. Maybe it's just a case of, he needs to save himself for 10 overs.
But coming to the last question, win the toss. Now, if you're Pakistan, let's start with Pakistan. If you win the toss, I'd rather lose the toss actually, because sometimes I feel it's a different decision. Assuming rain stays out of it, because I know rain you chase. But
if forecasts and stuff there, if you take that into account, then you have to field first.
Without rain, that's the key. What do you do?
I think I know dew isn't probably that big of an issue right now there, but I mean, historically Pakistan have always been a bad first team. I think in a big game, against India, I'd rather have Pakistan not chasing. Even if it's like 220, 230, I don't, especially if Babar, even if they're 150 for one and Babar gets out, then I don't trust anybody after that. As we saw against Afghanistan also, they've messed it up so many times.
Like, the thing is, for me, look, ignoring rain and assuming there's no dew. Dew, it's obvious you bowl first, but without much dew, I think I'd agree with you. I would bat first. Although I think Babar is thinking of bowling first. I think he's been batting first weaker opposition just in case he loses the toss. I think he's going to want to chase. But my worry with chasing is, it's a flat wicket. Sometimes the ball swings more under lights. But if it's a flat wicket under the natural sun, India could easily score 280, 290, even though we bowl well, or even 300. We will capitulate, right? My only worry batting first is we start really nervous against India. You've seen when at the MCG also when we batted first, like Khan and Babar were shaking, and it's just.
And I think in a big game we're not very good at calibrating what the right score should be, especially against a good. Against Afghanistan we got away with it a couple of times.
I'd probably bat. personally. Maybe I'm a
I'd
bit.
rather just lose the toss. But
I got.
uh,
I gotta give the toss
uh,
to it. You go.
yeah. Lastly, this is kind of what we do on our WhatsApp group as well, for every game. Who's gonna win? The top run scorer, a top wicket taker combined in the whole match, not for each team.
And if they can't strike rate, come on, if the
Oh, yeah, if
mania.
the striker.
Always do if they I'll go first. I
Yeah.
actually think Pakistan will win. I always say India in these games. I think Pakistan will win. On I think on paper they're a more balanced and side and more in form. Top run scorer, I back Babar Azam to come good. And top wicket taker, I'm actually not going to China field. I'm going to go with Haris Rauf. For India,
Oh.
I'm going to say.
No, overall, the whole match, you have to eat only one Pakistani or Indian top run scorer.
That's tough. That's tough.
That's the point.
There are, no, there just seems I'm too biased. Yeah, no. So I'll do Pakistan. I actually think I'm gonna say Pandya. I'm gonna actually say Pandya. I think India's top order will do okay, but I think Pandya is gonna score
Yeah.
well, and Haris Rauf. That's the thing.
All right. And if the strike rate?
135.
Oh,
Number 6, I think Pakistan's gonna win. Then I think he
yeah.
has to 135 strike rate. 130 to 130.
Okay. Interesting. So I'll go with India to win. Shreyas Iyer top scorer just because whoever plays against Pakistan for the first time, we always are very
Give it
gracious.
to
So I can see him getting a century after getting India of like 20 for 2 and then think okay, after the bag and then he's going to score 100. But I think Shaheen will still be the top wicket taker in the match overall. And if the strike rate 85.
85. Come on. Number 6. I actually maybe 135 is too high. Maybe I'll change it to 125. But lower than that, I'm very disappointed. I love
Here's
it.
what I see. Here's how I see it panning out. Like I said, Pakistan's gonna win the toss. We're gonna field first. India will be 20 for 2. India is gonna score 100, and India will score like 280. Pakistan will make a good start. Then we lose a bunch of wickets, and then Iftikhar will come and try and save, do a misbah, block, hit out, and then get to an 80 strike rate, and then get out, trying to hit out, and then we lose by like 50 runs. There you go.
I just Mohali talk. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
it's a bit annoying that today's match was very one-sided because we didn't get an idea of what a good score is going to be in these conditions. This is Bangladesh really messed up and scored 160. Yeah.
but all right.
Anyways, that's our prediction. To the audience, let us know what you think. Do you agree? Do you think Pakistan can pull it off, or is it going to be India continuing the dominance like they've been doing recently, especially in the ODI format? Yeah, let us know what you think. Thanks for watching.
Thank you. Bye.